Assalamu alaikum, my dear boys. Hello, grade 4A, 4B, and 4C. This is Mr. Mahmoud Abu Samra with you. Hello, my guys. I wish you all the best. This is week 11. Today's lesson is about phonics. Today's lesson is about phonics. Yes. The title is Greek word parts. You know, a lot of English words come from Greek or Latin roots. As you know, you are good boys. Here are some examples only. Phone means voice. Photo means light. Auto means self. Tele means far. Graph means written. These are some examples only. And I am sure that you know a lot of these Greek roots for English. Now, you are going to listen and watch a new and good video and then follow and concentrate with the video.
Further ado, let's start our lesson, Greek word parts. So early on, we learned that the English language actually descended from Greek and Latin. And today we're going to learn few of these Greek words that contributed in the English language that we use today. First word, micro. Micro. Micro means small, something small. Phone. Phone. Phone means sound. Scope. Scope. Scope means to see. Graph. Graph. Graph means to write or something written. Meter. Meter. Meter means to measure the lengths of things and objects. Tele. Tele. Tele means something far. So now we know the origins and the meaning of these words, these Greek words. We're now about to know some words that we use today related or originated from these Greek words: microphone, scope, graph, meter, and tele. Let's start with our first word, phone. So we use the phone today to make phone calls. So it has to do with sounds. Let's see some of the words, the English words that we use today that has the root word phone in them. First word being phonics. Phonics. Like today's lesson is phonics. We're learning how to produce sounds correctly. So the sounds coming from our vocal cords, in our throat, and using our mouth and tongue. These sounds are called phonics. How we produce sounds correctly to read and also to speak any language. Next word is telephone. Telephone. A telephone is like a phone, only that it's used mainly in homes and companies and agencies. We use the telephones. It's just like a phone. And as I said, the word tele means far. So telephone is to make far sounds or to transfer our sounds from different places. So telephone. Saxophone. Saxophone is a musical instrument that makes very nice musical tunes. Also has to do with sounds. So saxophone. Next word is microphone. Microphone. Microphone is this device used to make our sounds larger. Typically used in closed areas like rooms and universities and concerts and parties and meetings. Any closed area where you want your sound to be louder for people to hear you. We use a microphone. Next word, megaphone. So megaphone is, mega means big or large, and a megaphone is also a device that makes our sounds larger and louder, but it's typically used in open areas like parks and street and in public, we use the megaphone to make announcements or to warn people or to draw attention of a person who's far away. We use a megaphone. Next word is headphones. Headphones can be small or big or wireless, but we put it in our ears, on our heads, to hear sounds. Last word is symphony. Symphony. Symphony or orchestra is a group of musicians using musical instruments together to make musical sounds. Like Beethoven and Mozart, all of these are musicians who conducted symphonies. Next, we have the Greek word graph. And as I said, graph means to write. So paragraph, it means writing sentences. A group of sentences together talking about the same topic is called a paragraph. Autograph. Autograph. So the word auto actually means one or oneself when we're talking about someone or ourselves. Autograph. So it's a graph, a written for ourselves. It's a signature. When we sign something at the bottom of contracts or letters, we use our signature or our autographs. Autograph. Biography. Biography is writing a story about a person. What did they do in their lives? When were they born? Where? What did they do? Did they invent anything important? What is their contribution to the community? We write biography of famous people mostly, like the President Barack Obama, the previous president of the United States. When was he born and all of these things? You will find it in his biography. Next word, photograph. Photograph. A photograph means picture. But because long ago people did not have cameras to take pictures, they used to draw their own paintings and drawings. So it was called a photograph. But nowadays we use cameras and phones to take pictures. Telegraph. Telegraph. A telegraph is a device used long ago to transmit messages from distance along with wires, and it used signals by making and breaking electrical connections. But it's, as I said, it was used long ago, telegraph, so to transmit messages and letters. Meter. Meter. So the word meter, we all know what is a meter. A meter is from the metric system. It's used to measure the length of objects because we all know that a meter has 100 centimeters. So all of these are the metric system is used to measure the length of things. And the word meter means to measure. So let's see some words that we use nowadays in math and different majors to measure things. First word is diameter. Diameter. So the diameter is this line. It's a straight line passing through from one side to the other side and crossing the center of a shape or a figure, especially in circles and in spheres. It's called a diameter. I'm sure you learned about it in math. Diameter. Next word we have is parameter. Parameter. So a parameter is an instrument that measures the atmosphere and the pressure and the weather in general to determine the altitude. So it's used for measuring the pressure. It looks like a compass, doesn't it? Parameter. Next word we have is perimeter. Perimeter, it is also when we are trying to measure the length of objects. We use the parameter, or it is called the parameter. So the perimeter is a continuous line that measures the length of objects, the outline of an object or a shape. Also used in math, perimeter. Next word we have is micro. Let's see, the first word is microphone. We learned about the microphone earlier on to enlarge our sounds, and the word micro means small. Second word is microwave. We use the microwave to heat our food and meals. The word micro means small, and waves, these are the waves, these are the loops that go up and down. But microwave is actually the heat coming up and down, these waves that heat our food. So, and from it, we call this device a microwave, as it uses microwaves to heat our food inside. Next word is microchip. Microchip. So this chip, a microchip is a chip that is very small, chip or slice that is very small, where we can store our information inside it. It's used in devices and in computers to store information and data. Next word we have is scope. So scope means to see, the vision. So first word we have is telescope. Telescope. So tele, as I said earlier, means far, and scope means to see. So telescope together means to see far objects. So it's a device used to see far objects like the stars and the planets. Next word, microscope. So a microscope, the word micro, as we learned earlier, it means small or tiny. Scope means to see. Together, microscope, it's a device that is used to see tiny objects. Tiny and to see tiny objects like bacteria. Yeah. Next word we have is periscope. Periscope. Here is a periscope. It's a device using mirrors and reflections to see objects that are out of sight, usually used in the submarines. Periscope. And that would be the end of the presentation. Here are the words: micro, phone, scope, graph, meter, and tele. I'm sure you could come up with different and other words that have these Greek words in them. Can you think of a word, another word that we did not say in the presentation, containing the word micro, or phone, or scope, or graph, meter, or tele? If you can think of a word, please text me telling me which word is it. Now, as I said, let's please open the Readers and Writers notebook here, page 342, because we're going to solve the page together. So we have the same word that we learned about here. Here's the list: telephone, biography, telescope, photograph, microwave, diameter, parameter, microscope, headphones, microphone, autograph, microchip, telegraph, perimeter, paragraph, phonics, symphony, saxophone, periscope, and megaphone. Now we know the meaning of these words. It would be a lot easier for us to write the word in the correct place. So we have topic, sentence, supporting sentences. So sentences together, which word was it? You are right. If it is, what is it? It is a paragraph. Paragraph is sentences together. Next word. Hold on, let me just make it a bit smaller. Yeah, paragraph. Next word, life story, non-fiction. Non-fiction means real, a real life story. So it's going to be a biography, a story of a person, a real story of a person, telling us the real events of that person. Next we have bacteria and lens. Lens is like glasses, like used to enlarge objects. So which word should we use with bacteria? If you said microscope, you are right. Microscope is used to see bacteria and very small cells. Film and camera. So nowadays, as I said, we use the cameras to take our photos. So photograph. Photograph. Oven, rabbit, and rabbit means fast, so fast small waves, or oven to heat our food. The word is microwave. Next we have voice and record. So to record our voices and make it larger, typically it's a microphone. Microphone. Instrument, woodwind. So what musical instrument uses the wind to make sounds? If you said saxophone, you are correct. Saxophone. Next, signature, celebrity. The celebrities use their signatures to write what? To write an autograph. I'm sure we all solved the questions correctly. Now, number 9, universe and lens. Lens, or the glasses used to enlarge objects, and it has to do with the universe and planets. So which word is it? It's a telescope. You are right, it's a telescope to see far objects like the stars in the universe. Weather and air pressure. Do you remember the device that looks like a compass and we use to measure the pressure? It's a parameter. Correct. Parameter is used to measure the air and pressure. Next here, let's write the missing word from the same word bank here. A dash is shaped like a cone. Something that looks like a cone and it's really big. So it is a megaphone. You can, if you wrap the paper in the shape of a cone and you talked in one side, your voices would be louder on the other side. So it's a megaphone. A dash is a tiny processor, sorry. So it's a tiny processor inside a computer. So the processor inside a computer is a chip, and because it's tiny, we're going to say microchip. Number 13. A dash allows sailors in a submarine to see above water. Remember the device that we use, it uses mirrors and reflections to see things that are out of sight. So what is it? Do you remember what was it? It was, I think, the last word. Periscope. Typically has the word scope in it because scope means to see. Number 14. Measure across the center of a circle to find its, you know this from the math, diameter. Next, number 15. Morse code. Like the Morse code, a series of dots and dashes was sent by, remember the old device that is used to transfer messages? Yes, it was called a telegraph. Remember Morse code? All right. Number 16. A full dash orchestra. So without reading the rest of the sentence, we know what is an orchestra called. A full dash orchestra has strings, woodwinds, brass, and precious sections. So what is it? It's an orchestra. Sorry, it's a symphony. Symphony. Symphony is an orchestra. Orchestra. Where dash when you don't want to disturb others in the room. So if you want to hear the music and you don't want to disturb the others in the room, you need to wear your headphones. Next, number 18. To find the dash, measure the sides of a shape and add them together. So in math also, I'm sure you learned about the perimeter. To measure shapes. Next, number 19. Beginning readers learn to use dash to sound out new words. So if you want, like the KG and the children who just started reading, they need to learn dash to know the sounds of words. They need to learn. If you said phonics, you were right. Next, number 20. Alexander Graham Bell invented the... What did he invent? He invented the telephone. So these are the words. I hope you learned something new today. And learning the Greek words and their meanings help us to know the spelling. So now I think you know the difference between the telephone and the megaphone and the microphone and the telescope and microscope, because now you know the meaning of these words. I hope you understood the lesson and you learned something new today. We finished our lesson. Don't forget to do the homework. Page 375 on the Readers and Writers Notebook, using the same words that we learned today.